Howdy everybody, and welcome back to a video. I think it's been like 2 weeks or so since I've covered something. Actually, this is going up on the 30th, so maybe just a little over 2 weeks. Anyway, welcome to a game called Vampire Hunters. It is a Vampire Survivors-like game. It took a lot of inspiration from it. However, the big difference is that it is a first-person shooter. I'm going to go over the settings screen real quick because it's very impressive, especially for a console game. This game is both on console, Steam, Switch, Xbox. I think it's on like everything. It's really impressive, and I think this is going to be a very good game overall. Well, I'll go over some things once I get forward, but controls are pretty basic. But so just like any other Survivors-like game, it auto shoots. However, you can toggle a lot of different effects for how it auto shoots, which is very nice. And I'm going to turn on manually leveling up, and you'll see in game why it matters in a little bit. You can have up to 10 weapons plus 4 alternative weapons, and this lets you offset all of them individually or otherwise. I merged them, but for this video I'm going to turn it off, and then these are just feedback for seeing things, which is nice. And then you've also still got the sound settings and stuff. I'm going to turn on screen intro, screen shake. I never like in any game, so I'm going to turn it off. Then you got sound settings, and I have no idea what chromatic aberration actually is. I thought that was like the fraying color around the edges of things and stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So this is the main screen that you're greeted with. This game is single player only, but honestly it looks like it should have multiplayer based on this screen. A few things to note: you have all of your stats on this side, which is very cool. And on the other side, you have the ability to purely change the music how you want, or keep it set to random. I always do random, or if you shut it off, if you do that, it'll shut off the music. Don't recommend that. And then you can go into stage. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stages. As you can see, there are leaderboards for each stage. I have completed It's really hard for me to do this video because I gotta tell you, this is already becoming like game of the year for me. It's really impressively good in every single way. Constellations are gonna be your gameplay modifiers. Like, let's see, this unlocks endless mode, or this is everything takes, or you do a plus 200% damage, but everything one-shots you. You can only find primary weapons, or the most evil one. The screen will be turned upside down. Beyond that, you have your weapons. You start with 3 different weapons unlocked per class. It's dependent on the class. I will actually take the pew gun, one of my favorites. And then you can unlock every single other weapon that's unlocked in the game. You can unlock them using boss cores. Crucible is really good too. As you can see, your weapon goes up to level 5 for gaining effects, and then afterwards it also gains stats. And there's infinite weapon level technically, but above 5 you get pretty diminished returns. There are a lot of keywords, of which that's probably my main complaint. They don't really explain the keywords very well. But there are 41 primary weapons, good number of secondary weapons, and a good number of passive weapons as well. Beyond that, you have 6 characters. Scout, Berserker, and Paladin are 3 that you start with. I'm a really big fan of Paladin, like a massive fan. They are my most played. Can I just say also though, Berserker is insane. I'm going to try out Sosuke this time, the Scout. I'm going to show you each character also has a skill tree, which is really nice. Each time you level up your character outside of a level, like outside of the actual stage, you will get a point to spend in this shop, and some things cost more than 1 point, but even still. The main thing about Sosuke is he is a glass cannon. He has very little health and healing, but that's okay. And then you've also got the permanent upgrades. You'll see I have 249. I took out all of them for the case of this video, so I'm going back to the bare basics for the first run that I'm showing off. I'm going to let you know the extra ring, the extra tab. I'm not going to show you what they are. You have to beat the game first to unlock that. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? I forgot to choose the pew gun. and then you just hit square to start. Dude, this game is absolutely amazing, I think. Each character has a different intro. That's so skaze. Alright. It's pretty straightforward. Jump on X, shoot with R2, or there's auto shoot, square to reload, circle to use your skill. And, I mean, that's about it. Triangle ults. Every character has the same basic ult to begin with. And then there you go, right there. If you collect, as you can see, right now I'm waiting to spend my level ups, but you can unlock, or if you set it to manual leveling up, you can just hit right on the D-pad and it'll give you the option to level up. So in this case, we have 4 different weapons. I've noticed that it alternates between weapons, secondary, and passives, and then relics. You can reroll, you can lock, and you can banish. There you go. And I'm going to try out... Oh, it looks like secondary and passives go with relics, actually. I'm going to try out the slap. It is an unlock for playing as the Berserker, but I don't really know what it does. It definitely slapped. Alright. Oops. I think typically manually leveling is not necessary, but I thought I'd try it out because it's really awkward. I'll show you in a little bit what it's like to not have manual leveling on, and you'll see it's kind of jank. In my experience, I think leveling one weapon to begin with and then going from there seems to be pretty handy. I don't know how often it is. Ooh, okay, so we have some options here. We've already got a damage, or apparently a support, never mind, secondary. So we're going to take a damage one if we can. And this says specialist, but it's definitely damage. You'll see. It is the Doom Chainsaw. So it does massive damage over time at least. So with each shot of the same magazine, it gains 15% fire rate. And you'll see that here. Wow, that thing starts shooting real fast, huh? But yeah, this is what that's what the chainsaw does. If something gets close, it's gonna damage it. And we could go to level 6, but we don't really need to. It does gain a lot of extra ammo over time, 10%. But we're gonna go with something probably a little different. Let's go with the hand catapult. As you can see, you'll see in a second when I shoot. Oh, it only has one bullet right now. It just shoots that. A big rock. Very neat. And I'll kind of, we'll see how we want to do this. Already? I want to go over my favorite build at some point as well. There's so much I want to do. I think I'm actually going to do a bit of a series on this game, honestly. I'm enjoying it so much. So let's do that, just as we go. I don't know how often I'll be uploading. I'll let you know, guys. I know I'm doing an upload right now. Things have been crazy. I won't go into details, but executes a double slap. That's a keyword, technically. I'm gonna bet that's the only thing that will ever have that keyword. It does do a double slap. Did you see that? My only issue with a few things is some of the sound effects are... I don't mind the chainsaw, but some of them get a little bit much sometimes. But there's just a lot of those in general, honestly. So that upgrade gave us it says extra vertical shots. It turns it into a triple shot effect, which is really good. And this one just reduces reload speed. I should have gone over all these keywords. Explosion radius means that the projectile explodes in an AoE. Defragmentation means that when it hits the ground, or anything else, it splits, which is really good, unsurprisingly. And then corpse explosion means that if it is what kills an enemy, the enemy will then explode. You know what, let's just take Blessed Lightning for now as our passive. That's okay. It ends up being just a DPS passive, but it's pretty good. You'll probably notice that starting out especially, your character is actually altogether you are very weak. Let's see, this one gains extra explosion radius and good damage. I think this is one of the better weapons in the game. There's another very similar weapon to it that shoots horizontal orbs instead of vertical, which ends up being probably a little bit better, but we'll see if I find it. I haven't really tried out Sosuke at all, so I might not... Ooh, it gets Boss Slayer? Interesting, alrighty. As a support weapon, I don't really know how good that's going to be, but we'll try it out. That little glowy noise, wow, it means that there's a chest spawning. Seems like enemies do like 25 damage to begin with. Do we have any armor? No. So that's just base power, 25 damage. There we go. And as you can see, we could go to level 6, but it doesn't even gain 1 max ammo just due to how low its base ammo is. So let's see, we have damage over time, area control, which we already have, or support. We have a damage and a support, so why don't we take damage over time, just because I don't like luminous shot very much. Auto shooting with the laser, as you can see, might be a little bit odd. Alright, and here we go. 4 minutes in, you spawn your first boss. In this case, we got the Swarm. Cocoon. It only ever is called Cocoon, so I don't know. I don't think there's any alternatives to it. Any alternate forms of the Swarm, but... There you go, we shot it. And in this case, this boss is just 3 different little mini-bosses that don't move, but spawn enemies. Yep, cool. As I almost die immediately. And then the last thing we need is upstairs. Okay, the dash is only horizontal, I'm realizing. There we go. And bosses, as you can see, are pretty often just called out from far away. Like, you can always see their outline, and they show up on a mini-map. Every time you kill a boss, it drops a relic. In this case, we got Soul Vacuum, which is just bigger collection radius, which at first I kind of doubted as being a good skill, but the more I use it, the more I get it, the better I feel about it. Enemy pathing in this game is pretty basic. It's going to follow the same kind of idea most of the time. It does have ammo. But it means that you kind of can predict exactly how things are going to play out. And verticality and stuff isn't really an issue. If something flies, it can probably reach past a lot of things, but other than that, they mostly follow a very similar path. Actually, everything typically follows the exact same path. But I'm honestly okay with that. I am about to die. Enemies deal more damage, who cares when we're already practically dead. There you go. So in this case, there were 2 different directions they could approach from, so they did actually approach from both, but not really that big a deal. Whoops, I just got the keyword slow, and then died. So as you can see, you die kind of fast when you first start out, but I did level up 5 times. And this is where this game really comes into its own. You have a lot of passives and things to unlock. Let's go ahead and look, shall we? We could just be faster, have faster reload speed. Or we could get better dodge, if we wanted to, by going through better luck. You gain 1 more dash. You know what, let's go for double jump, shall we? And then, let's see. Speed by 3%, yeah, we'll go ahead and go with reload speed, actually. And we'll go 1 level in speed as well. Okay. And then we've also got permanent upgrades. I'm just going to spec into them, shall we? May as well now. I'll kind of show the power difference. May as well. What do we want? We want 50 bonus HP. Beyond that, I haven't felt much need. You can increase your iframes as one of your effects. Incredibly good, it turns out. So I should go over these. Whoa, wait. Whoa. Wait, this wasn't capped at 10? What? 1 second. Hold on, I'm sorry. Back when I was earlier playing, I thought all of these capped at 10. You know what? Let's just do this. I can understand not pumping everything into strength because, I mean, that's a lot. There we go. It's 20 now for the first one. Okay. We'll just do that. How about that? We'll go with double damage because, I mean, why not? And then we got an artifact. You can only equip 3. It's very little right now, but some artifacts later are very impressive. Let's talk to the Crucible. And to unlock the different maps, you basically just have to survive long enough in the previous maps. Why don't I go back and just... Why don't we go to map 2 instead? This is probably my favorite map. And this will be probably the last run that I do for this episode, right? Yeah, because we're 16 minutes in already. Each run takes... Oh, let me turn on... Oh, wow, you can hit pause there as well. Let me turn off manually leveling up, and you'll see what I mean. Double damage means we're probably going to be incredibly strong, honestly. We do have auto shoot on. I think auto shooting is fine. You see, there's a little bit of awkward jerkiness, pretty much. Sting, we will definitely take Sting. Sting says it is a melee secondary weapon that whenever it gets a kill reduces the cooldown of your other secondary weapon. Typically, I mean, you could run 2 Stings if you want to probably just combo off of them permanently, like a lot. I've never tried that actually. We're gonna take 1 more ammo. One thing that I am not adjusted to is one of the relics that I run on every character after I unlock it is a relic that says +5 max ammo for every single weapon. That turns out to be really lucrative. It makes some of the normally limited in power weapons, like balanced by ammo, completely busted. That's pretty good damage. I used to like shield generator. What it does is it takes that shield 10% is it takes 10% of your max health and turns it into shields, which is unrecoverable health. I have since found other things, and it's like a temporary shield that lasts like 3 seconds. I've since found some other things that I prefer a lot more. Oh, I didn't even go over combo, by the way. So combo is every kill that you get within base time 2.5 seconds will generate you extra blood, which is your blood file, your ult, pretty much. So it makes your ult recharge faster the more aggressive you play. What I will note about that is, however, that it's really, really easy to play aggressive. Like, at least get 100+ combo, you know? This is kind of the weakness of this weapon, as it being the only weapon at least. It's not going to kill things, like kill groups super fast, so we probably need a second weapon. Ooh. I'm kind of tempted to take Crucifix Boomerang. Let's do it. This is one of the weapons that really likes having extra ammo, but as you can see immediately now, you're just cutting through crowds of enemies. And the reason why you take the crossbow still is just to take out elites and stuff, you know. It's going to handle a lot of the tougher enemies that the boomerang won't. Inherently, at least. The goal of practically every map is basically survive 30 minutes. Once you survive 30 minutes, you're going to be given a different task right at the end of the map. Or right at the end of the... just after that point. You know, I think I'm going to try 2 stings and see how it works. It sounds like it could be fun. And right now it only recovers 1 second per kill. But as we get further, as it levels up more, it's gonna... horizontal shots fire more projectiles. huge. We do triple shot now. But it'll get more. What am I trying to say? It reduces the time limit by more. It reduces the cooldown by at max 10 seconds, which is incredible because this thing has like an 8-second cooldown anyway. So I think we could just chain them off of each other. 10% soul chance. That's basically 10% more XP. Up to, you have a maximum soul chance, I think. Yeah, we're only at, okay, that's, yeah. I don't know what the base drop rate is, but we're now at plus 13%. That seems pretty good, I think. You'll see that some orbs are different colors. Here we go. Killing an enemy with the crucifix, yeah, that is what it says. With the crucifix throw, doubles another random weapon's DPS damage for 2 seconds. This is really good. I want to show off some of these familiars, but I'm looking for a very specific one right now. One that I think is possibly the best in the entire game. Even if it might sound more boring, less exciting than the other ones, it's very good. It's hard for me to tell you guys just how good I am finding this game. I think it's, first of all, it way outperformed my expectations, but beyond that, I think it's just, it's hard to say, but it's really, really, really good. If you have, thing is, I don't know how much it's going to cost, but this episode's kind of a review, as you can tell, but I think it's worth it. I need to look more into that. I'll be linking the different stores. We also got an acid gun. I'm gonna link the different stores for the game as well. And catapult. Killer Frost. I wish I could tell what Frost did. There's no way. Whoops. Did I just skip that level up? Can I do that? I may have just skipped that level up. I have no idea. I've never tried hitting pause at the same time. Poison just does damage over time, pretty obviously. And 4 minutes again, we get our first boss. This time we're going to be a little more careful, except it explodes to my boss slayer boomerangs. Looks like I may have accidentally just skipped an upgrade there. That's okay. We'll take more chest spawns. Chests are basically free level ups, so 10% more of them is pretty good. As you can see though, every weapon kind of stacks out, and like, by the time of the end of the run, I should say, really, if you don't have weapon stacking on, your screen is pretty full of a lot of different weapons, I'll say. Very nice. You know, it never tells you how much damage poison does over time, or like what curse does and stuff like that. I don't think this game does a great job of explaining those things just outright, but through a little bit of experimentation, you can kind of figure it out. That's basically the, I don't know, it's hard for me to say that there's really a lot of bad stuff. I enjoyed this game enough that before I brought this to you guys, I may have 100%ed the campaign and played, you know, roughly 15 hours. If that gives you any estimate of like how good I think this game was. Alright, let's see. Lightbringer's kind of nice. It's an AoE machine gun, but I'm gonna try out Killer Frost. So I'm doing a lot of AoE options right now because our two main weapons are extremely high damage. The boomerang and the crucible. So I'm trying to pick some support weapons instead. Now, freeze and burn being twice as effective is nice. However, actually we could lock it if we want. How about that? And we're gonna take reload speed. Reload speed is, of the accessible stats at least, one of the better ones, I think. Oh, we got, because of our luck, which our luck is 1%, so we rolled a 1% chance upgrade of +2 levels to Killer Frost. Which means we're going to take that, because the locked things stay locked until, they just stay locked permanently as far as I'm aware. Or, yeah, they should. Killer Frost, you'll see, does like 0 damage. Not a big deal, honestly. The big shell carrying guys are exactly that. They just carry a shell and block your shots. Which is more annoying than anything. I'm sorry, actually, I don't even want that thing, honestly, now. I don't have anything that freezes, but I do have burn. Don't I? Yeah, burn. You'll see that the Killer Frost is a little odd. First of all, it doesn't kill almost anything, realistically. Oops. Secondarily is like the damage it has itself is, or the effect that it has, it's called Killer Frost, but the tier 5 upgrade effect, it says for each frozen enemy, gain 2% armor. But my issue with that is that I thought you had iframes during that, I guess not. It doesn't actually freeze, it frosts. Oh, there it is, Familiar Cat. Oh, we got Sting level 3 if we wanted. But look at this, okay. So for every 30 seconds, it says from time to time, the Lucky Cat Spirit grants you one of these bonuses. Heal 5, recover all of your ammo, +5 souls, +5 blood, and +5 combo. However, there we go, it just activated. One thing it doesn't say, or one thing that you'll learn is as it levels up, it just activates more of those effects. Which basically means, we hit boss number 2. As you can see, as you progress through more boss tiers, there are just more bosses to fight at once. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you fight 5 at the last one before the end of the level. Jorogumo, Spider Lady, Saki, I have no idea how you pronounce it, but they just run around applying buffs to the enemies. Exposed is making. I'm gonna have to take that at some point, but exposed is good. Exposed, as far as I'm aware, basically says if something has been hit by the weapon, it takes more damage. And 20% crit damage. Hard to complain about that, I will say. Drogumo might be one of the more annoying bosses, in my opinion. Ouch. She has that right there. She has a little web that she spits, which ends up being incredibly dangerous sometimes. I kind of need her down here on my terms. Whoop. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this, because I don't... Oh boy. If you haven't noticed, because it might not be easy to notice, this cat is proccing more than every 30 seconds. So reload speed makes everything faster. Oh, here we go. 5% damage plus 10 max HP, 3% crit, armor, speed, 1 luck, and 5% reload speed. That's really good. And now that the boss is dead, I'm going to show you guys what's probably the better place to stand in this map. So there are different locations that kind of bottleneck the opponents, the enemies. Minus the fact that they have shields right now, but that should be fine. You just ride the zipline across or run up from the other side. I wonder how long it takes for them to adjust. Never mind, we're going to get that first. Acid Flower 5. It says releases a seed on the ground that blossoms, spawning a plant that continuously shoots acid at the nearest enemy for 10 seconds. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'll get us to where I was talking about. You just come up these stairs, it's actually relatively safe from, like, everything. So if you want, there are some pretty safe spots that end up just leaving you standing for a while, but it's one way to survive. I think always taking Familiar Cat is good. However, I'm also going to lock that because it's also really good. It just says get 5 upgrades, minus 15% health. but it upgrades your current gear, which means if we could get our cat to level 5 or our pointy sticks leveled up, all of these things would be really good DPS ups for us. Cat level ups are not DPS, but they're healing up, which is unsurprisingly handy. Wow, this is a lot of enemies, huh? Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this. Let's check what we got. Cat upgraded once, and it looks like our gun's upgraded instead. That stinks, but still DPS. Oops. Well, that's a big deal. And then if this doesn't feel safe enough, you can always come further up. We gotta deal with the shield guys, though, before we can do much of anything else. And more bosses have spawned, too. Okay. I didn't actually check what the bosses were. Skull Ship is one of them. That sucks. Skull Ship says he doesn't care about walls. So let's go ahead and try to take out the wizard, I guess, now that we're down here. We might die here? I don't know. Double collection range, that's nice. Honestly, not feeling any of those. We'll take an upgrade to Sting and hope that helps us deal with the crowds that we're about to have to face off against. Good shot, dude. What the heck? Okay. Scorpion King probably will be fine if we can just make it past the, Yeah, look at this. That's cool. Alright, don't hit me here, Scorpion King. That's all I ask. Alright. If he runs into a wall, he'll stun himself. And then he goes into a guard mode, where he takes extremely reduced damage, by the way. But after that, you can just kind of beat him up. Frozen Heart says, every 25 seconds release a freezing wave, and this is one of the reasons why we take the Frost Killer. Because it means now if enemies are close, every 25 seconds we gain a boost in armor briefly, which is always handy. And then Flamethrower is just good to get. I'm kind of liking all of our stream weapons, but it means if we fight something with ranged attacks, our DPS drops quite a bit. I know. We are slowly healing back up off of the kitty cat. And it is meowing in my ear. In your ears as well, I guess. Hey, I think maybe every character's skill trees might actually pass over to other characters somewhat. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. We're going to take Sting level 3. And with Sting level 3, our Stings should be coming back like constantly. Yeah, look at this. That's cool. Oh, that's really cool. That was neat. We just took out like everything alive. All of your non-starter weapons are destroyed and your level is reset. This is a really good item. It kind of sucks that we've spent some things, but... So, weapons appearing in the shop have their damage doubled. So we effectively get double damage at the price of taking quad damage for a short amount of time. But, yeah, so is this thing already doubled in damage? It sure is. And we have a pirate cannon. Huge. And that's the quad damage. Very nice. I kind of deserve that. We're gonna have to take this potion and just regen health. That's okay. It was just very silly of me at the same time. Oh, actually huge. I left all this XP. I'm gonna go through these kind of fast. We're actually gonna take 2 HP regens. Shotgun, one of the best weapons in the game, I think. I'm not interested in it right now, but... Alright. I know I went through that incredibly fast, but just trust me. We're looking very strong right now. And we will even get a hand catapult to go with it. Yes. As you can see, resetting... Ooh, I almost died there, guys. I didn't see him coming around the corner. Resetting your level doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. We'll take an acid flower back. Some crowd control is always nice. But the pirate gun, being at double damage as well, is going to trivialize a lot of things. Tempted to take a Phoenix, just because it keeps offering it, and a Phoenix is a free revive. But I think I'm not going to, and just I'm gonna play like I'm good at the game or something, you know. I don't really know why I'm taking HP ups, because HP ups are not healed when you take them, so they don't actually give you any current HP. They only give you max HP. We did get a sting back. That's awesome. That little blue circle was caused by the dragon enemy. Okay, I'm gonna show you something else really good then. The Shrinkinator. And if you stand in it, of course, you just take damage over time, so let's not. Shrinkinator is really unimpressive all the way up until level 5. Once it hits level 5, it becomes what I think to be one of the best secondary weapons in the game again. Yeah. And the reason why is it gains a special passive that says anytime you kill a Shrinkinator enemy, you gain 0.5% permanent damage up. Turns out, permanent damage ups are really good. Who would have guessed? Not to mention, honestly, anything that's shrunk is unable to deal contact damage, moves twice as fast, which doesn't really matter as far as I'm aware, and is just all around something easier to handle, you know? You cannot shrink elite enemies, such as those guys. Wait, I have a double jump. I've had one this whole time that I unlocked, but I just haven't used it since now, or until now. Alrighty. We have the Swarm again. Wicked Nurse, who teleports around, teleports to you, and tries to drop enemies on you. And then the worst of them all is, Slamey, I guess? Slame. You want to kill him fast because he drops goop on the ground. I thought it did damage, it does not. However, it does slow you down and make you unable to jump, which is possibly worse. Wow, she died fast. Okay. Right, we have double damage. I gotta remember that. Reload speed, I meant to mention this earlier if I didn't. Reload speed does affect the familiar cat. Which means for reference, 0.1 HP regen seems to be really powerful already. Base HP regen off of one familiar cat is already 0.16, 0.17, depending on if you round. And then if you have two cats, it is just 0.33 HP regen. And if you run two cats and some reload speed, it only goes up from there. Which means you're going to be incredibly powerful. It becomes very hard to die if you invest in cats, I find. Gain 1% bonus damage for each weapon that you control, or each weapon that you have in your inventory that says burn. Unsurprisingly, that's really good. Okay, so we don't have any health regen right now. Okay. For some reason I thought we had health regen earlier. Oh, thank you, chest. Hey, we got our flower back. Nice. The end of this map, by the way, is collect the 2 onks and then return them to the Sphinx. The 2 onks are inside each of the pyramids, so we just have to travel across the map a couple times. We don't actually have very many weapons right now. Rampage. I actually have no idea what Rampage does, honestly. It might be like the longer you shoot or the more kills you get within a time, you do more damage. That's one of those skills that I just cannot seem to figure out, though. Yo, this, Wait, hold on. What the heck does this thing say? Cover 7 seconds of the cooldown from the other secondary weapon. Why is this giving me cooldown on both? And just giving me infinite shrink raise. That's what I was trying to figure out there. I mean, that's tempting. +2 combo timer. For sure, we'll just get Sting to the max already. Somebody's freaking out over here. I don't know who it is. Somebody's dragged on like a madman. Shrink Ray is definitely doing something. We'll go get that chest. Oh yeah, the horizontal shot effect on the minigun is pretty crazy. Just wait till you hit level 5 on this thing. Whoops. Yeah, it becomes a matrix shot. Fires more projectiles horizontally and vertically. And when it says more, it means a lot more. So the way that works is, for part, there's a little bar, a little blue thing on top of the minigun. You might be able to see it. It's slowly refilling. Once that refills completely, you'll have your matrix shot backs. Your matrix shots back. I'm just gonna do that. So, the only character I'm missing so far, I have no idea who they are, but it says to get them you have to revive 3 times in a run and still win. So I think the way you have to do that is pick up that item that gave me the ability to reset my gear, but also having died before that point with a Phoenix. Phoenix says when you die, just revive. Hey, there's Familiar Cat again. So that procced at 38 seconds. Let's see what it procs next. $48, not yet. Oh no. So 58. So we've already got pretty good reduction on that. Procs every 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds. So that 5 HP per, or instead of being 0.167 HP regen, it is 0.2 HP regen. I'm just waiting for the bosses to come to me. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty strong, I gotta say. Oh, the other 2 bosses are not coming to me. You have the Desert Worm, which is spawning a bunch of ads, and then the Kappa Egg. The Desert Worm is this guy. I have no idea what happens if you fly over him, but if you let the so the Kappa Egg spawns with partial health, it's not actually fully healed, and then if you take too long to kill it, it becomes the Kappa King, which seemingly is dangerous. Bosses are linked to a nearby enemy that receives 50% of the damage. Wait. Taken by the boss. Oh. Oh, I misread that before. I thought it was saying that the boss... Okay, so here we go. Shrinkinator says you gain 0.5% damage when killing shrunken enemies. Up to 100%. That's really good, but so is magical bouncing ammo. But we're going to take the Shrinkinator upgrade first. And you'll notice that our damage is going to skyrocket. Eventually. Doubling your damage alone is really powerful. Yeah, we've probably just jumped quite a bit of damage just off of that right there. There's a chest. I gotta remember to use my double jump on it, dude. After having gotten it, I just kind of left it. It seems nice, but not super handy, you know? Deflect. I'm assuming that means to deflect projectiles, but there aren't very many projectiles in this game to deflect. Oh, speaking of projectiles, these worms actually do shoot projectiles. Huh. Funny. And then at level 5 it says the sphere explodes at the end of the duration, giving 50% of weapon damage. That's practically worthless. Honestly, I won't lie. It does very little damage and does not mean a whole heck of a lot compared to just taking a new weapon. Yeah, and our damage is, you can see over here on this side, it actually keeps up pretty well with your damage. We're at 235% bonus damage. We started at 100, plus 100%. So we've gained probably a little bit, right? I think. I have no idea. We might have already capped it. I have no clue. I'm not very good at tracking that. I won't lie. If I get a chance to take bouncing magical bullets again, I will definitely take it. It is something worth seeing. And when it says, ooh, nice, we needed that. When it says bullets that can ricochet an additional time, it doesn't just mean guns that have ricochet on them, which I was mistaken about when I first saw it. I was like, I thought it was very minor in what it worked on, but anything with literal bullets, it works on. So like the minigun becomes absolutely insane, just a little bit of bouncing bullets, it turns out. The cannonballs don't get extra bounce because they have infinite bounce already. So stuff like that doesn't matter. Did we ever get our flamethrower back? We did not. Let's go ahead and get that back. Already though, as you can see, just the passive bonuses from having leveled up other characters really brings a lot of power to your character. I mean, I literally gave myself double damage, so it's hard to complain about that. I think if you really want this game to be a challenge, you either want to play with none of those passives, that's level 3 challenge, or you're going to want to like turn on, you're going to want to use the constellations. Typically, I don't use the constellations much. They kind of change a lot of the game, so I don't mess with them too much. But a few of them can be really fun and really good for score and stuff. Don't score attacks. We're gonna reroll. Running nearby enemies isn't really all that good. We're gonna turn the slime on the ground into a speed boost. Turns any of the green slime on the ground into a 10% speed boost. These red ones, by the way, are worth 10 XP apiece. So these tiny Sildex, I think is what they're called, are actually worth a ton of XP. Alright. We'll take a second familiar cat, and this is when you start kind of popping off with cats. Just having 2 of them, being able to just heal like crazy, it turns out to be very strong. Probably unsurprisingly. You still have to find the upgrades for them, but if you find cats early, I think it's almost a guaranteed win off of that alone. Especially if you're doing endless, at least. If you're doing the main game after 35 plus minutes, somewhere in that range, you can spawn a ghost that insta-kills you Spelunky style. I haven't had much luck with that, then I'll say that much. Here we go. This should be the last wave of bosses, I think. There's 5 of them. Honestly, probably not too worrisome. Look at that character right now. Enemies are burned. We got another swarm cocoon. Unfortunately, it doesn't turn new slime into cool slime, but that's okay. That one says after using a skill, shoot out arrows that all do 60 damage. It's really hard to tell. I mean, 60 damage sounds low, but it's the unmodified damage, so it's actually a lot higher than that, typically. And with this character, this is probably one of the better utilizers of that skill, or of that item, I would say. I have no idea where Saki is. I can see his outline actually, but I'm gonna take Cat 4. Doesn't matter which one you take really. I guess technically it's better to take the 1 to 2 because it's a higher number increase, but whatever. This guy teleports. I find him rather annoying, but usually not too dangerous. I have a double jump. I gotta use that. There we go. We got him. Winter Orb slows enemies that are nearby players by 35%. I think that's one of the better relics in terms of utility. It just doesn't necessarily show up too often. Or it's hard to tell what it's doing, I guess. It does show up quite a bit, I should say. It can be hard to tell how effective it is. Typically, the answer is it's probably saving you a lot of headache at least. I guess we're taking a garlic gun. It shoots a little projectile that explodes, and after it explodes, it poisons everything in the radius. I didn't really talk about it very much. This static gun, which, yeah, there we go, Static Cola, is actually doing a lot because it has that same slowing effect, but in an AoE that you shoot out. Which is very, very good, to say the least. Yeah, these shrunken enemies are doing some funky junk. So in a minute and a half, it'll tell us that we have an objective finally. And we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just finish the run. As you can see, the cats made my run from being like struggling to stay alive. Then now it's like it's hard to not be at max HP. Like I never reached max HP again, I guess, honestly, but we've become a lot harder to kill. Even though we haven't capped either of them, you know. See, what is my percentage? Yeah, so I was already capped on the bonus percentage damage from the Frank Ray. Of these, I think shotgun is way stronger than I've given it credit for recently, at least in front of you guys. I'll do a run at some point, I think, where I'll show off how strong the shotgun is. The issue is it has fires moderately as close to as fast as you can pull the trigger. So this now just guaranteed every 20 seconds. And if we can stack more reload speed, it only gets better, you know. I'm not going to zipline yet, but we will be ziplining soon. And now we're collecting yonks. There's a lot of XP over there. Well, I can't see the timer anymore, unfortunately. I was going to see how fast the cat was refilling, but can't see the timer because the PlayStation told me it is about time to finish the recording. Once you hit this part, actually the spawning doesn't even seem to be all that bad right now, huh? Let's go ahead and grab the other onk, shall we? Luckily, both of where the onks are located, it's completely cut off from anything else, so they can only approach from one direction. And once we finish this run, I will do my wrapping up. If you did like... Actually, I'm going to start wrapping up right now, just for a few things. No, I'll wait. I think it's better to wait, technically. Alright, place the onks at the Sphinx's hands. Sure. The Sphinx starts releasing new enemies as well, by the way. It's just these scarab beetles. And as you can see, the number of enemy spawns goes way up. And look, we won. Yeah, nice. The outro is always the same per character. Like, every character has the same outro. They fire that weird gun. Alright. We got 2 unlocks done. Faster than my bullet. Hey, it's like the song. And hello there. It's a lot of meme references and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. I'm going to do some more coverage on it for sure. This won't be going up to the 30th, but I hope you guys watch it. It's been a lot of fun. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more and comment. I would love to hear feedback about this game and what you guys think about watching it too. Beyond that, I do have a Patreon. Please check it out. It takes no time to do. I don't expect anybody to give me money, but thank you very much if you do check it out. I'm running out of time, so I'm talking quickly. I think this has potential of being my game of the year. It is that good. I'm not showing you the last character because they're kind of the spoiler character. Please ignore them if you don't want spoilers. Sorry about that. I maybe should have started. Oh my goodness, a new save file. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.